Wingo Talk.
Welcome back to Wingo Talk. Today's hot topic is the effects of ride-sharing apps. First, hail a cab. Definition: to wave or signal to a taxi so that they stop and pick you up. A cab is a taxi. Example: we decided to walk home from the restaurant, but then it started raining, so we hailed a cab. Permit. Definition: a license, an official document that says someone can do something, such as hunting or driving a taxi. Examples: you must have a permit to hunt deer. Taxi drivers must get permits, called medallions, in order to drive taxis. Plummet. Definition: to fall down quickly. Example: the price of Apple stock plummeted when Steve Jobs resigned as CEO. A living wage. Definition: the amount of pay required for basic living needs, an income that can pay for housing, food, healthcare, and transportation. Example: it's hard to make a living wage as a comedian, singer, or artist, so many of these people have two jobs. Despondent. Definition: unhappy, hopeless, feeling down. Examples: our children were despondent for many days after the dog died. John has been despondent ever since his business failed a few months ago. Okay, story, page 1. Over the past couple of years, ride-sharing services such as Uber and Lyft have become increasingly popular transportation options in cities and suburbs all over the world. They're cheap, convenient, and easily accessible with just a few taps of a smartphone. As a result, taxi drivers across the United States have been feeling the effects of ride-sharing's increasing popularity, as more and more of their customers choose to use Uber or Lyft instead of hailing a cab. In order to become a taxi driver in most cities in the US, you need to purchase a permit called a taxi medallion. A few decades ago, these medallions were worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. However, due to increasing competition from ride-sharing apps, the value of taxi medallions has plummeted. Taxi drivers who have already purchased medallions are struggling to make enough money. As more and more consumers take Ubers or Lyfts, the average monthly income for taxi drivers continues to decline. Many taxi drivers have suddenly found themselves unable to make a living wage driving their cabs. Because they can no longer afford to support themselves and their families, some of them are forced to do additional jobs just to make enough money. In New York City, the situation has become especially desperate for taxi drivers. The city has seen a shocking and tragic increase in the suicide rate of taxi drivers who have become despondent over their inability to earn enough money to support themselves. The situation might improve for cab drivers though. In August of 2018, the New York Taxi Workers Alliance successfully convinced the New York City Council to limit the number of ride-sharing vehicles allowed in New York City. This regulation could allow both cab drivers and Uber drivers to earn enough money to support themselves again. Alright, in today's chart, we can see the locations of popular ride-sharing platforms all over the world. However, these are not all of the ride-sharing platforms. These are just 5 popular ones. First, we can see Uber. Uber is marked dark gray. Uber started in the US, so obviously it's there in the US. However, it's also in Canada, Mexico, and almost all of South America. We see some countries in Africa have Uber, and most of Western Europe and some of Eastern Europe also has Uber. Some countries in Asia have Uber, but not that many. And then in Australia and New Zealand, they also have Uber. Next is Didi. Didi started in China, so clearly China is marked orange for Didi. However, Didi also competes with Uber in Mexico and Brazil. After that, we can see Grab marked green. Grab is in Southeast Asia, and it has dominated that market region. Countries like Thailand, Vietnam, and Malaysia have many Grab drivers in every street. Next is Ola. Ola is marked yellow, and we can see it in India. Right now it's just in that country, but many people think it will continue to expand into other markets. Last is Lyft. Lyft is also United States, so it's competing with Uber, which is very difficult. However, Lyft continues to become more and more popular. Possibly in the future it will go into other countries. Now it's time to discuss. You can find the full discussion lesson for free at wingotalk.com. So go online, find the lesson, and keep talking about this with your group. Okay, I hope to see you next time.